Whenever you bet, bet Fred.
This is Andy Purewal for Boxing Social. It's 2 o'clock at night. Dave Allen's coming in off the back of his victory against Samir Nebo. They've just expressed to me now how great it is to get a back-to-back victory on Eddie Hearn's Matchroom show. Yeah. Big platform and a big opportunity for you now to build on this and look to establish yourself amongst the British heavyweights at least.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it. Samir Nebo isn't a great opponent. I think he could punch a little bit, to be honest. He could punch. He caught me on the gloves and he's very heavy-handed. But I hit him early to the body, and he made a facial expression, and I pick up on them things. It was a right hand to the body, which was a bit of a cuffing shot. Really, the right hook to the body's not really. You very rarely see someone get stopped with a right hook to the body, because it's a bit of a wide arcing shot. And there's not really much body weight in it. It's usually just your arm. So I felt the power. Because I felt the power, I just walked straight on top of him, pushing, make sure he's going backwards. You can't generate as much power because he could punch. So I was a bit like, wow, he can punch. So put him on the back foot. Work the just tapping around the arms and the head, and just brought the left hook in. I was really happy with it. It's a nice shot, really. People say I can't box and whatever, but in the minute and 5 seconds I was in there, everything I did was good and correct, and it was a good performance. The opponent could be whatever it is, but I have to do my job, and tonight I did my job really well, so I'm happy with it, and we move on.
He's got a good record. He may not have fought many people who have a decent name in the division, but was you surprised that you was able to get him out so early on?
Yeah, but Tom Schwartz, the German, he's number 3 with the WBO. He took him 4 rounds, and he shouldn't have been stopped. It was a proper German stoppage. It was bent as chuff. So I anticipated I would get him out of there at some point, because I need to be above British title level. I need to be getting them people out there. Didn't think it'd come that quick. I knew I'd do it, and I anticipated my jab being. I missed with the jab a lot early on. I'd say it only lasted a minute, but the first 20-30 seconds I missed with the jab a lot. So I had to adjust a few things. I'm really happy with it, even though it was a minute and 5 seconds, and the opponent, like you say, maybe not the best, but he was dangerous. And obviously tonight I realised that everyone's dangerous. He missed me with a few over on right hands. They'd have hit me, they'd have hurt, So you're always learning, and he was the right opponent tonight. Like you say, he's not the greatest opponent, but he was the right opponent tonight, and we just keep going up in levels slowly but surely, and eventually we'll get to the big fights.
What was your plan and your tactics going into the fight?
I just wanted to get the jab. I wanted to beat him up with the jab for 3 or 4 rounds, really. Me and Mick Marsden spoke about it. I was only going to throw a jab and body shots tonight. That's all I wanted to throw. The big right hand swing, like, if it came, it came. But in sparring, I was sparring with Simon Lilly, who fought Craig Glover in the first ever. So I've been sparring with him, and all I've been doing with him is throwing the jab and throwing the body shots, and that's something I've been working on, because usually I just come forward and I'll try and throw the right hand. So I've got a really good jab, and I'm a really clever boxer on the inside. I can fight and whatever. So I've been working on them things, and that's what I did. And obviously it worked really well. I wanted more rounds. So hopefully next time I can get someone. I'm not saying tougher. I don't think I've hit anyone in the world with that body shot. It was just the perfect body shot. Obviously it's a lot easier to land them on an opponent like Nebo, who's not the greatest, but he would have dealt with most heavyweights. So I can only be happy with it, really.
I was just about to say, you want someone who will maybe give you more rounds. What can you take in terms of a learning experience when you're only in there for like less than a minute and a half?
I take a lot out of it, because I'll watch the minute and 5 seconds back, and I'll dissect it, and I'll watch it over and over again. And I won't think that's a great body shot. I think I should have done this. I've already watched it back, and I've already picked it to pieces. You know what I mean? Like, people say I don't take it serious, the sport of boxing, but I take the sport of boxing very serious. I love boxing. I watch it, and I watch all boxing. I watch all the greats, the Mike McCallums and the James Tonys, and I try and watch them and try and do what they're doing. I love boxing, so I've maybe not been the fittest in the past, but my boxing brain and stuff is good. I love boxing, and I know what I'm doing, so I'll watch the fight back and I will learn something. You always learn something from it. And sometimes it's not always something technical. Sometimes it's, you've got to show all these men respect, because they can all punch, and you can take all sorts out of everything. You can take all sorts out, and it's experience not only in ring. It's the preparing in the changing rooms. It's the nerves getting less and less every time. It's the ring walk. It's the dealing with the atmosphere, because tonight was an absolutely mental atmosphere. You got to take all that in. So it's more than just the in-ring fighting. It's the what happens, in fight week, coming up to the fight day, fight week, everything. You got to take it all in, and this week was another learning experience, and on to the next one.
I was about to ask you about the atmosphere itself, especially for Ritten's fight. It was unreal, but even for yourself going out there, I think every person in the stands were just getting up and were cheering you on. And for someone who isn't from Newcastle, that must have felt special.
Yeah, it's 2.5 hours. Like I said, I came up here 4 years ago, and I sold 3 tickets for that fight, and so I came out. I walked out tonight, and people, when Nebo had gone and they announced me, everyone was standing up at the railings, and I thought, you know what, I walked out, this is a brilliant atmosphere to walk out to, and then they started booing Nebo as his announcement, and they started cheering me, and all that was good. It was one of the best atmospheres and one of the best reactions I've ever got. Maybe even up there with the O2. But then after the fight, they were shouting, "There's only one David Allen," and that was going on for a little while, and it's really nice. I live 2.5 hours down the road. I didn't sell. I sold a few tickets now, but I didn't sell as many as I would in Sheffield, and there wasn't many local people there. I sold tickets online, luckily, to people on Twitter, etc. So for a room of effectively 9,000 strangers, to me, I'm not strangers to them, nicely enough, because they watch these things and they get involved with me, and it's nice. But for effectively 9,000 strangers, to me, to be singing "There's Only One David Allen," it's a really special thing, and that means more to me than winning the fight. Really, obviously, if I didn't win the fight, I wouldn't be singing it, would they? But that's what I do boxing for. All the money in the world, and if someone can have all the money in the world, there can be the billionaires out there, and you can't buy that feeling of real. It feels like real, love and adulation. Like we can't buy it. It's unbelievable.
And now we talk about the future. What's in store next for Dave Allen? Are you planning on getting back out before the year's out?
Yeah, hopefully. I spoke to Eddie, and Bellew Usyk card November 10th looks a possibility. I said to Eddie I want to be out twice, November and December. So hopefully Usyk-Bellew card. It's all about the opponent. I'm not gonna go on the card and take a fight that I don't want. I want a fight like Samir Nebo again, maybe someone a little bit better to get the rounds in and get a few more rounds out of. But that looks likely. Then we look like December. Kell Brook maybe fighting in Sheffield in December, early December, or the white card December 22nd. So I will be out in November and December. The 2 cards I will be on are not definite now. Eddie's gonna ring me Monday, and we'll go through it a bit more in detail and in terms of types of opponent and rounds and stuff. But I watched 2 more times this year. I watched 7 times this year, and the most before this year were 4. So I'm not even won a British title yet or anything, even encroaching that. So it's crazy, really. All the planning and stuff like going into it, and when I start winning things, and things will be massive, because things feel amazing now. It's weird. I feel like a superstar, and I'm not even winning anything. It's crazy.
Now I know it depends on what time this gets up, because we have had absolutely shocking Wi-Fi all week, and it is 2 o'clock in the morning. You was originally planning on leaving in an hour's time to go away, to spend a week away with your sister in Gran Canaria. Have them plans changed now because you are waiting to find out if you are to fight on the Bellew Usyk card?
Yeah, I spoke to Eddie and a few of us from Matchroom, and they was like, you could be fighting in 4 weeks' time, we'll be fighting in November, you need to train. If I go to Gran Canaria, I'll put a stone on in 6 days. I will, because that's me. I'm a fat, greedy man. I'll eat everything. I won't move. So cancelled the holiday, and straight back in the gym Monday. I was straight back with Mick Monday and put a good week in, and week in the gym. Obviously moving forward. A week in Gran Canaria is not even a side moving. It's a backwards step. I'm losing a week's fitness, and so I'm at a point now. I'm 26 years old. I'm still pretty young in the game in terms of my number of fights and in terms of years I've been in the sport. But need to kick on now. I feel like I'm not at my peak yet. I think I'm still 2 or 3 years off my peak years. But why not? I might as well kick on now. I can't turn down the chance of fighting on 2 pay-per-view cards in the next 2 months for an holiday in Gran Canaria. That when I've retired, I can go wherever I want. So. But yeah, it's an easy choice for me to make, really. I'm just trying to got to strike while the iron is hot, I guess.
So if Usyk-Bellew card does work out for you and you get out once more in December, it's 2 fights left this year. What level of opponents are you looking at in terms of setting up bigger fights next year? I mean, I know you've mentioned you want the British title, you want to fight for it at least. So what opponents are you considering?
I think I'd like an 8-rounder next, and then a 10-rounder in December. I just want opponents not like tonight, but a little bit better, a little bit tougher. Like get the rounds in, but at the same time, I don't want to win on points. I said the other day, I don't ever want to win on points. So, nothing groundbreaking. I'm not going to come and say, I want to fight the best, because I don't want to. Because when I fight the best now, I want to beat him. When the Lucas Brown fight comes around, which will be next year, I want to beat him. I don't want to fight the best fighters in the world. And I don't want to be known as that tough kid who has a go and falls short at the highest level. I want to start beating these Browns, and I've told that I don't need to fight. So the opponents need to be correct. It ain't a money thing, you know. Nebo costs a fortune, I think, for Eddie tonight, bless him. But if it comes to the point where I have to take a little bit less money to get the right opponents, I'm not bothered, because I'm not about the money. I'm about the titles and about the fans singing my name and stuff. That's what it's all about.
So when do you think then, I'm going to take it at some point next year, when do you think we will see you in either a Brown or a Dubois or that British title fight that you've been after?
I think Wembley, you know. Hopefully.
April.
Yeah, if I can win 2 fights back end of the year. People can say whatever they want, and I've tried to avoid it and avoid accepting it and believing in myself, but it's getting to the point now where I'm selling. People want to watch me, you know, and it hurts me to say that. I feel like a very big-headed man saying that, but people want to watch me now, and people do say, "Oh, Dave Allen's on pay-per-view. I might buy it now. He's on." I'm bothered about it. So and so, we'll watch what Dave Allen's on, and it's a very nice thing. It's very confusing to myself first and foremost, but you know, in these kind of shows I can get on now, and I'm never under no illusion it's for my boxing ability. It's purely for people like me, for me, and for me that's great, you know. But I want that, and I want to be known. I want to be a serious threat and contender, and people take me seriously in the heavyweight division as a boxer as well. But I'd like to think keep going as they are. 2 more wins, I can get a big fight on the Joshua Bill in April. That's what I'm hoping for. You know, it's nice to dream. People say, "Oh, you're looking a bit far ahead," but if I'm not looking, I'm looking 6 far ahead. Looking 6 months ahead is what is going to get me in the gym next week. You know, an 8-rounder in Manchester. Yeah, you know, I love it. I can't wait for it. But in 6 months' time at Wembley, that's what's going to get me out of bed next week, to make sure I win that 8-rounder, to make sure that the Wembley fight, and if that's a possibility, can come off with the likes of Lucas Brown. So, yeah.
I was trying to ask, you've just mentioned that loads of fans turning up for pay-per-view. I did see the one photo of, you know, Dave Allen saves a pay-per-view once again. You know, what did you make of all that and the photos when it comes out?
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's I just love it. You know, it's just I do the boxing I do for I love boxing, but what boxing's given to me isn't. I've made some money out of it now. Obviously, I'm not a very wealthy man. You can see what I'm wearing and stuff. But
you're wearing nothing.
Well, but just the people, what they do, you know, and even though some of it they're taking the piss out of me, I still appreciate it, and that's the big reason why I do it. Acceptance from people and whatever else. That's why I do it. Really, I always wanted to be somebody and to be not really accepted, but just I wanted to be loved and wanted to be, and like I said 4 years ago, selling free tickets, you never think that's going to come. But yeah, I guess it means more to me that they like me for me than because I'm a brilliant boxer. You know, it's fantastic. I love it. Fowler's workman-like all the time. Like he's not gonna amaze you with any fancy skills or nothing. But when he steps up in levels and people come to have a fight with him, he's gonna be a tough man to beat. You know, he's not gonna look good against these journeymen. But when he gets in there, when comes on to go, he's a bit Frotch like. I see similarities with Frotch. So and he's a nice kid as well. I'd really warm to Fowler. He's a nice guy, and I think he'll do well. And then for Lily Glover, I didn't see it. Simon's a good friend of mine, and obviously not the result I wanted. Hopefully time moves heavyweight, and Glover, I've seen Glover a few times. I think he's a really good talent. And then obviously Ritson, I think Ritson's the nicest man in the world. I just think he's such a nice fella and he's lovely. And it's a shame what happened tonight, but it's one of them, you know. A year ago, he wasn't even British champion. No one really heard of him. And a year later, he's won the British outright, and he's up to European level, and he's just not ready for it, you know. He's had 5 rounds in a year at British level. He's been his own worst enemy, really, in being so successful. He's not got the rounds and the experience. He's come up short against a really good fighter. I think Patera is a good fighter. You know, he's Italian and he's not really fashionable because of that. You know, he's not a big name, but he can really fight. And I hope Lewis moves up a weight, and cause I think that's what he needs really. I think he's a bit flat tonight. I think the weight's a factor, and I just hope I hope Newcastle stay behind him because it was certainly there. So hopefully they just stay behind him and boxing keeps coming back to Newcastle, because I for one would love to come back.
Dave, it's very late. I don't want to keep you too long, so thanks for speaking to Boxing Social.
Thank you very much, Andy.
Whenever you bet Fred.